Coach Richie Rich, Coach Babs, and welcome to the Think Strong, Be Strong channel. If it's your first time here, thanks for joining. Please hit the like and subscribe button so you know when I'm dropping another video. I'll make sure I drop one every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. If you're an avid listener, welcome back, guys. Much appreciated. Hope you've had an awesome weekend. Today's conversation is going to be quite interesting, talking about toxic people. Just toxic. So without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? Hey guys, welcome back. Toxic people, man. There are going to be times in our life where we are going to encounter some toxic people or toxic situations, and personally, me, in my time in my life so far, I've encountered some toxic people. I have encountered people who make it their purpose to just want you to be upset, to have you in a constant state of stress, to have you in a constant state of frustration or wondering, or like walking on eggshells because whatever you do don't please that person. Whatever you say doesn't appeal to their ego or to the way they envision things, and they just make it a point to be a pain. I'd even go to the extent of saying some toxic people make it a point to just be an asshole for no other reason other than to just be an asshole to you, and it's okay, because to be honest, it's their problem, not your problem. Like there was somebody in my life at a point, and they were never happy, and it didn't matter what I did, it didn't matter what I said, it didn't matter whether I got it right or whether I was being good that time. They'd always find a problem. Yeah, it was good, but it could be better. Don't expect to thank you, it's your job. I don't have enough this, or we need to have more of that, or why do you talk like that, or why do you dress like that? People are laughing at us, or it was always a thing. And it was almost like they didn't have a good day until they provoked an argument or a fight, and the worst thing I could have done is rise up and retaliate. And I'm not gonna lie, in the early stages of my life, I'd retaliate because I'd see toxic people as bullies. They're trying to bully you, they're trying to oppress you, they're trying to shut you down, and it can push you into a form of depression. It's not a joke, man. It can push people into depression. It can put people in a state of anxiety, and it ain't because their mental health is weak. It's just because what is the purpose of toxicity? It is to contaminate something to the point where it's rendered useless. Like, you just have to, you can't use it. And if your blood is toxic, what do they do? I'm not a doctor, but they flush it. They flush it out. They flush the toxins out, and then they try and cleanse your system. Do you understand? And the key thing you need to do is flush out the toxicity. And I had to flush out the toxic people. I had to say no. Enough is enough. I'm not having this. Me trying to take it is like you knowing you're infected with something that's killing you, and then you're trying to live when you could cure it or start the curing process by first removing yourself from the thing that's infecting you, the thing that is causing the high levels of toxicity in your blood. You cannot stand in a room of radiation and expect to cure yourself from radiation poisoning when you're in a place that has radiation. So you got to move from that place, and I had to move from that place. The hardest decision I guess you're going to make is the decision to want to move out of that place. And toxic people come in different forms. They come in the form of the people you love. They come in the form of a job that you thought was going to be the one for you. It comes in the form of friends who, at some point they were your ride or dies, and now they rather see you die. Like, they're gonna come in some places that you didn't expect. They're gonna grow in environments that you least expect, because toxicity, anything toxic doesn't need specific conditions to grow. It just needs an opportunity to infect a host, and then all it does is just spread and just keep spreading. So in order for you to get better, you have to remove the source of the infection, the source of whatever it is that's toxic. You have to detach yourself from the person. So the hardest decision was detaching myself from the person. In my situation, there was somebody that I loved, and I had to detach myself from that. And we were toxic for each other, because don't get it twisted, I'm no angel. When nobody's perfect, but toxic breeds toxic. That's how it is. Once one person's infected with something, and you come in contact with another person, and you ain't protected, what do? You pass it on. So it's hate breeds hate. Love breeds love. Toxic breeds toxic. It starts from somewhere, it grows, it spreads. So it takes a lot of strength of character and a lot of, I guess, self-talk, and like looking inside yourself to be like, okay, I need to make a decision. So I made the decision to step out. Now I'm gonna say this to you: don't think just by stepping out it's going to make it easier. Sometimes it makes it harder. If you step out and you find that you're not the one who's being toxic, then it's the other person who's being toxic. Now the other person is going to accept the fact that, who do you think you are, trying to back out? What, you want to say no to me? That's how they're going to feel. They ain't going to like that. So they're going to try and continue this form of behavior from afar. You're going to hear it through hearsay, through gossip, through different things like that. You're going to hear it through fucking technology. You're going to hear it from Facebook or whatever. People are going to have something to say. And some people are like sheep. They love a good gossip. So it's going to carry through other people who are gossiping. You don't need to worry about that. It's going to affect you at the beginning. It will, because you've just come out of something. It's like when you come out of a major operation, you're woozy at the beginning. So you're going to feel a bit woozy, which means when they're saying stuff, it's going to bug you. It bugged me for a while. I ghosted myself from social media, from all different things. I stopped going out. I stopped hanging with my old circle of friends. I stopped doing things that was connected to that toxic individual, because I thought like if I distance myself from it, I'll get better. But you're not. Because like viruses, sometimes there are some viruses that require the virus to build antibodies to fight the infection. Sometimes when you're flushing out this level of toxicity in you, there might be small traces that are still hanging around. Do you understand? Those small traces, they will come out, but what you need to focus on is cleansing yourself anyway. So focus on making yourself better. Focus on trying to not let what people say affect you. My mom always says, when let people talk about you, is it true? If it's not true, then why you letting it bother you? You understand? So when people are being toxic and they're saying shit, they're going to spread stuff that probably even true. Or they're going to probably spread secrets that they know is going to hurt you. It's to get your attention. Don't feed into the attention. Feed into your own mental health. What's the best answer for a fool? It's silence, isn't it? Or you ignore a fool and they make a little noise, and after a while they shut up. Silence is the best response for people who are just barking and making a hell of a noise and making no sense. You just keep quiet and let them do what they're doing. After a while, they'll find something else. They'll find somebody else to be toxic to. But work on yourself. Look inside yourself. Rediscover yourself. I went on a journey of self-discovery. I had to fall in love with myself again. What do I like? What don't I like? What do I want to do? What don't I want to do? I like writing. I love reading. Um, I like gadgets. I like taking walks. You know, I found this stuff all over again. Then I had to remind myself of everything that's good about me. Because remember, toxic behavior and toxic things are not there to just corrupt your image from the outside, but also how you feel from the inside out. So, you know, when you're in a toxic environment or you're around toxic people, it's the point is to fuck you up from the inside. So you start believing this shit about yourself that ain't true or that ain't positive about yourself. So you have to start talking to yourself inside and just saying, yo man, I am so much better than this, and just believe it, and then walk in it, and then act in it, and just don't allow yourself to be pulled back into the environment or into that person's game. There are some people out there who maybe their toxic is a partner or an ex-partner and you've got kids with them. You can't completely disconnect, but what you can do is cap the point where you can see, we've been here before. I've spent too much time on myself. Spent too much time on myself to get myself to this point for you to still be playing the same bullshit games again to bring me back down to where I was. It shows that I'm growing and you still stuck there. So you stay being toxic and destroying your pastures, but don't come infect my pastures. This is the way you gotta be. You don't have to say it out loud, but you carry yourself in a way which is like, got no time for that. You do what you're doing. Let me do what I'm doing. Peace. I'll speak to you when I need to speak to you. You don't need to holler at me. And that just, it's just like a basic way of dealing with toxic people. It's how I've done it. And you're never going to get rid of toxic people. They're always going to be around. But here's the thing, you may not be able to change how some people behave if they're naturally toxic or if they just thrive off that kind of environment. But what you can do is choose the way you want to react, or choose the way you want to allow it to affect you. That's it. You know, if there's a wound, toxicity can enter the wound. If you keep yourself healed and there's no wounds and no scarring and you're 100% fine, it's harder for certain toxic things to penetrate you. You understand? So if you know who you are up here and in here, and you believe it 100%, it's going to be harder for somebody who's toxic to infect you. And after a while, don't bounce and find somebody else to fuck with. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, that's my brief one on toxic, dealing with toxic people. Like I always say, live your life one step, one rep at a time. Think strong, be strong. Remember, impossible is nothing. Don't waste yourself time with toxic people. If you liked what you saw today, please leave a comment in the box below. And please subscribe, share, tell all your friends about me. Anyway guys, take it easy. Peace.